friends, it's Ms. Stevenson with you with another art activity for the week. So this week, we're going to do an outer space picture. And that is because some of our friends in OK1 have been very interested in outer space. So I thought it would be a neat idea to do an art activity around that this week. To do this activity, you need white paper and some crayons to start. And you will need something to trace in a little bit, but so far that's all we need. So on my piece of paper, I have started coloring the whole thing with brightly colored crayons. I have not done my coloring very dark. There's a reason for that. Okay, I've colored most of the page. I still have a little bit more to color because I wanted to do some of it in front of you. I didn't want to do all of it in front of you because you'd be sitting and watching me color for way too long. It'd be a little bit boring. Now I know I normally use markers because that's what shows up best on the camera, but you will still be able to see the effect that this makes, I think, at the end. So I'm using bright colors. I want to avoid black or anything dark. Okay, so I'm using purple, yellow, orange, red, and green. If you want to use darker colors, that's okay. It will still work. Just for this step, don't use black or dark gray. Those two colors are not really going to work. Oh, I have pink too. I'll add some pink. Now, when I color, I'm kind of overlapping the colors as well. They can mix together. You can put them on top of each other. We call that layering or overlapping. Okay, and I'll do more green over here, I think. There. So I've colored the whole thing. Don't know if you can see that. I've colored the whole thing with different bright colors. Okay. Now, you will need something to trace. You will need to trace something that is circular, something circle shaped. All right. Something circle shaped. And I'm wondering if you can guess why. Why do we need circle shapes if we're doing an outer space picture? For the planets, I bet you guessed it. Planets are spheres. They're shaped like balls. So when we see them in pictures and things, they look like circles, right? Okay, so I'm going to do my first one going off the page a little bit, like that. And I'm going to do another one over here. See? This time I'm going to trace the outside of the tape because not all planets are the same size, right? Some are big, some are small. I wonder if there's, I'm going to trace the bottom of my rain stick. This planet is very far away. Very far away. It's so small. And, I have a cup. I'm going to trace the bottom of my cup. This planet is mostly going to be red. Maybe it's Mars. the red planet. Okay. There we are. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets on my page. Okay. Now what we need to do, you can do more planets if you want. You don't have to do it exactly like me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color the spaces around my planets. Normally, when we color things, we color inside the shape. This time, we're going to color around the shape. Okay, so for that, we're using black because that is the color of outer space, right? So I'm going to color black around my shapes with crayon. And for this part, you can press kind of dark. I'm coloring a little bit quickly because I don't want you to be sitting waiting forever. Now, if you have tempera paint at home, then you can paint around your planets using tempera paint. But not all of us have that. So I'm showing 2 different ways that we can do this. I'm showing it with crayon and I'm showing it with paint. So we'll do the crayon part first. And I'm trying to be a little bit careful when I go around my planets. See? I'm trying really hard not to color inside the shape. I want to go around it because I want the circle to be colorful so that it looks like a planet with the sun shining on it. You may have an idea to make your outer space picture a little bit different. Maybe you'll choose to do stars in the sky somehow, or the sun. You're always welcome to change things a little bit, to put your own ideas into your artwork. I really love it. I get so many great ideas from things that my friends do in OK1 when I see the photos of their work in their portfolios. I get all kinds of great ideas. You're all wonderful artists. All right, so I have done half of my picture with just overlapping the black crayon on top of the bright colors. You see? I wish you could see how colorful my planet is with the crayon there. It just doesn't show up on the camera all that well, but it looks very cool. You'll see when you make yours how neat it looks. Now, I have my paintbrush, and I have a wider paintbrush for the bigger areas. You don't have to have two different paintbrushes. And I'm squeezing out just a little bit of paint. You don't need a lot. It's always better to squeeze out just a little because if you need more, you can always add more, right? You can always squeeze a little bit more out into the tray. But if you squeeze out too much right away and you don't use it all, you can't get it back inside the tube. And then it's wasting, right? So I have a small paintbrush here. And I'm going to go around the shape. And I'm going very slowly. Because I'm trying not to make a mistake. If I make a mistake, it's no big deal. That's how we learn. You can always ask somebody to help you if you make a mistake and you're upset about it, right? The easiest thing to do if you make a mistake is to just make your planet a little bit smaller. If you go inside the planet a little bit, see, look, I'll do it over here. See, look, I made a mistake and I went inside my planet. So I'm just going to paint my circle a little bit smaller. And then that way it looks like I did it on purpose. Nobody can tell, right? You can always clean up the edges with a marker after too, or a crayon. Artists have all kinds of tricks when they make mistakes. Okay. And remember, if you have paint at home, you need to make sure your grown-ups know that you're getting it out. You need to ask, and you need to make sure that you are choosing a good space in your house to paint, right? I don't think painting on the couch in the living room is going to go over very well with your parents. Okay, now I'm going to use the big brush. It'll go a little bit faster. I've traced around all my planets, and now I'm going to use my big brush to fill in the rest of the space. And this is going to be a little bit tricky for some people because we're so used to coloring inside the shape. This is a neat little exercise here to get you thinking about things in a different way. And you see when I'm painting with my brush, I do not have very much paint on my brush. Okay, you just put a little bit on the end at a time, just as much as you need. And if you run out of paint on your brush, you can go back and dip it again. A lot of people find painting really hard because they put too much paint on their brush and then it gets messy, messy, messy. It's too hard to control. But if you just put a little bit on your brush at a time, it's easier. Doesn't get everywhere. There. So now you've seen two different ways to do your background. You can either color around your shapes with crayon, or you can color around your shapes with paint. Both ways work really, really well, and they're both going to make awesome outer space pictures. All right, if you have glitter at home, another thing that you could do is you can put little spots of glue after everything is dry. If you use paint, you can do little spots of glue and add a tiny bit of glitter, and that would look like stars shining in the sky. All right. As always, I hope you have tons of fun with this activity. We can't wait to see them in your portfolios. Please do not forget to clean up your own mess. Ask which sink is okay to clean a messy paintbrush in if you have a messy paintbrush. And make sure you clean up all your crayons. I'm going to do that right now. Enjoy, friends. We'll see you later.